Okay, Jenna. So, when was the first moment that you realized you wanted to go into fashion? As your friend since the moment I met you, you've always been passionate about fashion. So I actually don't even know when or where this passion came about. Because you're from Jersey, I feel like you were born with the love of fashion, as most people are from New Jersey, in my opinion.
Yes, I think in order to be a Jersey girl, you need to be born with the natural passion for fashion, as they call it. But it's a very, very interesting question because when I was younger, I was just like all over the place. Like my mom would be like, "You're wearing two different color socks. Like get your crap together. Like what's going on?" So I don't know if like I was really born into loving clothes and really caring what I looked like. But my mom tells me the story when I was younger that I said I wanted to open up a clothing store when I was like in fifth grade called Genevieve. I don't even know where that name came from, but I wanted it to be like all black and white clothes, like very basic. So people can come and just shop for black and white because it's basics. So I think I've always had a drive and a niche for understanding what people want. And I kind of just fell into fashion. I worked at Hollister in college. I mean, who didn't? And I worked at Nordstrom as well. So I think as I've grown up, I just learned to love it in different ways and care more about what I look like.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, I remember, and even I still will send you pictures of something and be like, "Yo, is this cool or is this not cool at all?" But
Yes.
that's pretty funny that I guess so you had it from such a young age. I guess being interested in fashion and I mean, I feel like everyone should be interested in fashion. You know what I mean? Like even
Yeah.
guys, like I don't really put in that much effort, but I do try to like catch on to like certain waves or like I don't know. It's a form of expression for sure. Um,
Absolutely.
it was pretty funny last summer. In my apartment in Newport, we were getting ready to go out, and my roommate, he's so funny. He was like, "Is it skater Josh tonight, or is it like preppy Josh, like frat Josh?" And I was like, "Ah, shut up! Like, get out of here."
Yes.
But
That's so true. It's
yeah, it's
absolutely so true.
yeah, because I definitely dress for the occasion, and you can tell when people kind of like dress out of the occasion, and it's like, why are you wearing that? But like at the same time, I guess like express yourself, whatever. But you wouldn't want to wear. As a guy, I would never wear like black jeans with my like Nike SBs and a black like Quicksilver jacket to church. That would just look weird. You know what I mean?
I'm very happy to hear that you would not do that because I would be coming to Rhode Island and pulling that off you.
Some people do that, and it's like, what are you wearing? But so yeah, I feel like you definitely need to be conscious of the scenario where you're going to, and it's important, even if it's not your career. I think it's important to represent yourself accurately to the situation.
I, I agree.
Um, so what degree do you have? Is there a preferred degree to get into, the career field that you're in? Um, yeah.
Yeah. So going kind of back from like to what I said before, I just was very lost, Josh. Like, I don't know if you knew it. I had no idea what I was doing.
I
And
think
when I said,
everyone kind of starts out like that, so
yes,
it's weird if
absolutely.
you
And
don't, right?
agreed. I think it is weird if you know you want to be a doctor in fifth grade.
Yeah,
So,
it's like, how would you ever know that?
right, exactly. So, to answer your question, I don't know if I knew when I was choosing my major what I was going to end up doing with my life. As you know, I started out at URI for a year.
Yeah,
And I really just, when I was in high school, and everyone was applying to colleges, I wasn't great at school. Like I didn't have all the options to like
yeah,
go to Wisconsin or Indiana and like these
yeah,
cool schools. And
yeah,
I had no idea where I wanted to go. And um, my friend in the same town as me went to URI and said it was beautiful and honestly had that same um, camaraderie that all of these other schools had. So I applied, obviously got in. I went there for a year. I did the whole sorority thing, and I was undecided as my major freshman year. And I remember sitting in my backyard and just had a change of heart. I was like, I have no idea. Like, I'm still undecided. I don't even know what I want to do. And you or I had a great fashion program. Like, I easily could have went back and did fashion there, but I just wasn't motivated. I wasn't doing well. Pretty sure, like, probably failed a class. I don't even remember. But I just wasn't into it. I think I was just going to college just to go to college, to do the parties, to do the sororities.
Yeah.
And I had a change of heart and said, I need to be in the city. Like, that's where I'm motivated. I've always loved New York City since I was a kid. And I just took the risk, and it was a fashion school called LIM, which at the time stood for Laboratory Institute of Merchandising, but then they rebranded and now it's just LIM. And full-on fashion school. But I didn't major in fashion. I was able to major in marketing, and then did whatever I wanted to do with that. Like, if you major in marketing, you can literally market for anything. So if you're looking into fashion and you're actually, because I'm not even in fashion anymore, I'm in beauty technically. But if you're looking to do fashion or beauty and you really don't know at that age what that major looks like, marketing's such a great major to choose because you can really run with it and do whatever you want to do. So that's what I did. I did marketing. I did all the classes. Wish I paid a little more attention to some of them now that I'm in the field. But yeah, I think that was a great starting point.
Yeah. Marketing, I totally agree with you on that. It makes sense. You can market whatever, and it's kind of just like you can sell whatever too. Like, I thought I wanted to go into sales, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I could be a salesman. I think that's what, when I was trying to figure it out, I was like, I wanted to be in the action sports industry in some way, and it seemed like sales was the only way to get into that. However, I didn't really like sales in other industries because I didn't care about selling a toothbrush to someone. Like, I don't care. So I was like, oh, maybe if I sell, action sports stuff I'm actually interested in, that might be a little bit more cool. And it definitely was more cool. Just not something I wanted to pursue, but it was a lot more cool. But yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, same type of thing like you're saying, like marketing, you can market whatever. So I guess so you get into marketing, and then you can kind of pick the industry. Ideally,
Yeah,
you can kind of pick the industry you want to go into from there.
exactly. And even to what you're saying with sales, my personality, I can sell a pencil. Like, seriously, I think it has to do with what you're genuinely interested in. Obviously, if I wanted to go into finance, I would have to work a lot harder to do finance because that's not natural to me. So
Right.
marketing is one of those things where you learn a lot because you're not naturally a marketer. You have to learn about it.
Right.
But sales, if you're interested in sales, I would still consider doing marketing because if you have that natural ability to sell, you can do that even with a marketing degree.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like if you sales is kind of natural, and there's just
Hmm.
ways to improve on it, I feel like. And if you learn marketing and you like sales, you could easily start your own business, and that's that you've already X'd out two major components. You know how to market your product, and not you can sell your product. So definitely good things to go into. So you mentioned you were in a fashion major, but what is like a fashion major? Like, what do you know? Do you have insight on like what that major kind of looks like?
Yeah. So I definitely was not a fashion major, but I did go to fashion school. So I saw a lot of the other majors, and it's a lot of textile, it's a lot of design. I think fashion is actually so broad, Josh. Like, there are so many aspects of fashion. To your point, like, you have to sell the clothing, you have to market the clothing, you have to make the clothing, you have to come up with the concept of the clothing. So there's endless opportunities and majors there. So if
Okay.
someone was interested in going into fashion, it's really understanding what you want to do in fashion. Do you want to do the merchandising in a store, what it looks like? Do you want to actually create a piece of clothing and design a shirt, which don't ask me to do because I can't do that? Or do you are you just curious? Do you just love fashion and you just want to get into it and you're not sure how to get into it? I would definitely say, either choosing a fashion school, or if you're in one of those Big Ten schools or any other school, whether if they don't have a fashion major, I would totally recommend marketing or even just like a business degree, because there's, like I said, just endless opportunities.
Right. Yeah. So you could go into like design, I guess. Obviously, that's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
Um,
very
yeah,
interesting.
I know.
Not for me.
Yeah, I know some people that are doing that, and it's cool. You get to create obviously your own look and whatever.
Exactly. It's incredible.
So what was your favorite part about your education experience, inside outside of the classroom?
Oh, well, you are talking to someone who absolutely hates school and has hated it since I was in first grade. Like, I'm pretty sure all my report cards when I was younger said, like, Jenna does not shut up. And she's just, yeah. So, I wish I had, like, I think my advice to anyone, because I don't even have anything to say, because I just showed up, I did my homework, as I got older and realized you have to do it, and it's an easy
Yeah.
grade.
Right.
Um, it's, I think, speaking to more of like, obviously, like the college demographic, if you're choosing a major that you genuinely like, that's going to come with classes that you don't care about, right? I had to
Yeah,
do
of course.
statistics. Like,
Yeah.
statistics. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
honey. I know nothing. And to be honest, to this day, I don't use statistics. Like,
Why would you, unless you went
why would
into
I?
research?
Exactly. So that was part of the marketing
Yeah.
major, and I I don't even know how I passed that class. So I think
Yeah,
there's
me
a
too. I had to take that. Yeah, and
I think
yeah.
Adderall helped. And
Yeah.
I'm prescribed. I'm
Yeah.
prescribed, everyone. If you haven't
Yeah.
noticed, you haven't noticed,
It's
I have major
okay.
ADD. Yes.
Yeah. This is
So
acceptable.
you got to do what you got to do. Lots of coffee, lots of
Yeah.
Adderall, whatever.
Yeah. Get through it somehow.
Exactly. And I think just outside of the classroom, inside the classroom, to your point, my thing was be motivated. Regardless, like, if you're not interested in the class, like, find motivation somewhere. And like I said earlier, the city was my motivation. Being 19 years old in such a humongous city with
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
sizes, colors, ages, all was around you. I went to school and I'd be walking to school and there was a guy with a briefcase going to JP Morgan. And like,
Right.
I was just going to my little school, like trying to think I was like someone.
Yeah.
And it's just be motivated, have an end goal, show up, don't party too hard, because I mean, no, I definitely did party very hard and I definitely missed like a few finals, but like, just show up to class, care, and just do your homework. Like, it's an easy
Yeah.
grade, and just
Showing
get
up
through
is big.
school.
Yeah, showing up's big. Even on the days you
Yes,
don't want to show up, just show up. You need to study for tests. You don't want to study tests. Well, just go to the library. Just show up to the library, and just take it step
absolutely.
by step. I do think there are a lot of good lessons in what you were saying. Like, for example, the stats class isn't really what you were interested in, not what you wanted to do. I definitely felt like that with some of my gen eds. I had to take a geography gen ed. I don't know why. And I took what I take. I took well originally I was in astronomy because I thought that would be cool, and then I turned out that had a lot of physics involved. I was very intimidated. This is an entry level astronomy class that has physics. Um,
Yeah,
so
goodbye.
then, yeah, so a couple kids in my fraternity were in volcanoes, and they said it seemed chill. So I was like, all right, I'll give volcanoes a shot. And volcanoes was just as hard as astronomy. There was physics involved. We had to calculate, if it's a meter whatever earthquake, how far is the explosion going to go? How far is the smoke going to go? Should you evacuate this town if the explosion happened in this town? It's like, what? Like, I'm a communications major. Like, this is not, this is like really not. And I don't
Yeah,
know why we're learning this. And this is like really hard. And I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to, unless I move to Hawaii or something. Why would I need to know this? Also, there's probably experts that are going to tell me what's going on.
exactly.
So I totally agree, but it's with anything you do, and I think college is a good example, but of that, I think there's obstacles in the way that you think are relevant and you don't really want to do it, and that's the whole point, is to, can you get through like the stuff you don't want to do? Because obviously the stuff you do want to do is going to come a lot easier. You're going to be more interested in learning it, and the frustration, you're not going to be as frustrated when you don't get it and you need to do it again and again. So I think that's a big thing, and just realizing that learning is a tough process, and sometimes things come easier than others, and sometimes you have to do things over and over again. I'm trying to learn music theory just for fun, and it's so frustrating. I was getting really frustrated yesterday, but then I just realized that, it's okay. You can rewatch the videos. You can do the test again. It's just okay. Like, whatever.
Exactly.
So, um,
Exactly.
so I guess, so what sounds like your favorite part about your college experience was when you transferred after your freshman year, was being in the city. It kept you motivated. You liked the environment, that helped you stay motivated. So, and the least favorite part, I guess we could say, was the gen eds or the other required classes that you didn't really understand why you were taking. Um, yeah,
Absolutely.
I totally feel with that. So the marketing major, is it a lot of papers? Is it a lot of tests, exams, homework? Is it in the field? Did you do a lot of like real experience type things, or a lot of group projects, or what was that kind of like? Was one year different from another? Was senior year designed differently, or
Yeah.
anything like that?
Yeah. So that's actually a really good question, because I went to a school that was very hands-on driven. So in order to graduate, you had to have a full-time internship at the same time
Wow,
as going to school. So
wow.
that really, it was a
What's a
lot.
full-time
And
internship? Is that 40 hours?
more. Like
Oh,
when
so
you're
like a
in
full-time job, and then
yeah,
and then you're going to school full-time.
exactly. And
Wow.
if you were doing like Monday through Friday, you were able to take your Friday classes online. Um, but
Jeez.
they asked the internships, like they asked you to ask the internships if you could do Monday through Thursday and just come into school Friday. And I, of course, chose an internship that was like, no, honey, you stay until 6 o'clock every night. And I don't, truthfully, I really don't know how I did it. Like, I have no idea. But like it was sophomore year I started. It was a lot of public speaking, just kind of getting your groove into fashion. It was a lot of merchandising and just learning about the industry itself, how even trends are forecasted. And I don't know, that's way beyond me. And I didn't
Yeah,
do anything with
that's
that.
pretty
But
cool.
it's so cool. And just the fundamentals, I would call it, of fashion. That was like first year. Second year, you get more into your major with marketing classes, learning why airplane seats are more expensive at certain times. And literally, that was one class I remember to this day. We learned why airplane seats are more expensive at certain times of the year, and
I'm
why this
also
seat,
gonna start texting you about flights, so now I hope you.
well, that was Jenna like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, it was definitely interesting to say the least. And really, I did psychology. Josh, I had psychology with you, and you or I took it again.
Oh yeah, it was awful.
That was awful. But I don't even want to. I
I
had
like
that
psych.
woman.
I have a bunch of psychology books right here. I could show you guys all of them. That class,
But
not my favorite. That was one of my
no,
least favorite classes. I love
I have her
psychology.
on. No, I have her on LinkedIn, Josh. It's okay. We can have this class again if we really wanted to. But I like how my junior year you got more in depth with what marketing is. Right now that I know the fundamentals, how does marketing apply to fashion? And it was just understanding, why do people buy Dove soap? Like, why will I only buy Heinz ketchup? I will literally not buy any ketchup, people. Like, if you want to have
That's
dinner with
true.
me, we
Yeah,
we need Heinz. Like
that's
I need
true.
Heinz.
Unless I
Yes,
see
and
some like organic brand that's like not as much expensive. But yeah, you're right. Heinz
yes,
and Dove's a great
Hellman's.
one. My doctor even suggested Dove because apparently they don't use like sketchy chemicals or something.
Dove's incredible. Their body
Yeah.
wash. I don't know how this turned into a commercial, but their body wash is so good. I really have no idea, but so it's like
I'm a big fan of
learning.
Dove. Wink, wink, Dove. Send me
Yeah,
anything. Yeah,
sponsor me. I
yeah.
like the lavender scent.
A
Oh
gift
my
card would
god.
work. So
Yeah, I'll take anything seriously. But it's just learning more about the consumer mindset and why we purchase certain things. What makes things marketable? Like
yeah,
like there's this one pencil and another pencil, and you're gonna buy the
yeah.
one Bic. I don't know what it's called,
Right.
but
Yeah, yeah,
you're gonna buy that one because it's
yeah,
how it's marketed. So
yeah.
we get into that, and then the senior year, like I said, full blown. Probably had 10 panic attacks. Working full or interning full time for $75 a week.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and
legit.
then then
So
school.
the
So
first year out of college must have felt like a kind of a relief going from a hectic senior year like that to now it's like, oh, I just have to work now. I don't have to also do school.
exactly,
That's crazy.
exactly. Yeah, and
Um,
I really recommend if you're like me and you're interested in fashion or beauty, because like I said, I'm in the beauty industry now. I fully recommend that school. That was incredible.
LAM. Where
Yes,
is LAM in
LAM.
the city?
There's 3 locations. You'll definitely. I actually didn't lose any weight, but I walked a lot. So it was 53rd and 5th, which is one of the most beautiful locations in New York City, right
Cool.
by Fifth Avenue. 45th in between 2nd and 3rd, and then 45th and 5th. So
Cool.
3 different buildings. Yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
city's your campus.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
When I visited my sister, I actually passed SUNY, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's
Yep,
interesting.
a lot. Definitely a lot of city schools for sure,
We were
which is
near
cool too.
yeah. Yeah, we were near what you call it? I think we were near Wall Street. I don't even know. We were just walking around. She was showing me that
Yes.
bull. You know the bull? I don't know. We were doing touristy
Bowl?
things. There's a bull, like a
Yeah.
bull. It's
Oh,
near
yes,
there.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yes.
one of my friends actually in grad school, she went to SUNY, so I was like, huh, that's where she was, like looking. Yeah. Because
Oh,
URI is
that's
so different,
cool.
obviously.
So different and so amazing, by the way. Like that was
Yeah.
I had a great year. Yeah.
Top
That
10
was
surf
beautiful
schools.
campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's me surfing on the waves in my fashionable outfit.
Yeah. It's funny. Actually, Bic was the first surfboard I had, which is weird because no one knows that they make surfboards. Wow, they make lighters. Yeah, they make lighters,
Really?
pens, pencils. Yeah, and they also make surfboards. Isn't that weird?
That's very weird and
Yeah.
cool at the same time.
Yeah, it's not weird in a bad way.
Yes.
Wait, so I'm just curious. So does the industry choose trends or do people kind of choose trends or is it like a little bit of both, obviously?
Yeah. It's
If you had to
kind
guess.
of like it's like a cycle. Like fashion's a cycle. So right now I'm wearing like my mom would call these 90s earrings. Like,
Okay.
okay, I think they're 2020 earrings, but my mom said she wore these types of earrings when she was younger. So it's just a cycle. And of course, with newness of, like new trends like layering jewelry or whatever. So I think there's a fashion cycle, and maybe Kim Kardashian might start a new big butt trend and now you want to wear tight shorts or whatever.
Right,
So
right.
I think it's both. I think it's totally both. And
You see
just
it in
keep your
basketball.
clothing, guys.
Yeah, right.
What?
And I've seen it in basketball with the shorts.
Yes,
So like
exactly.
in the early 2000s, like shorts were wicked baggy. Even like mid 2000s, like they'd go down to like some people had them down to their ankles. I'll send you a picture of this NBA player. I'm not even
No.
kidding. And then now they're like the shortest is the coolest. Like and it's like give me a break. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we're so
Yeah.
like we're so in the beginning stages of this trend, like, and I hate when, like, it's so funny because people who wear like really, really short shorts, I feel like they think that they're like the trendsetters. And it's like, dude, you're not setting a trend. You are actually
Yeah.
like giving into this trend way harder than everyone else. Like, you're the trend follower. You're like the biggest trend follower. By
Yeah.
having
Like,
the shortest short shorts. Yeah, so
exactly. It's not good. Not good. And there, you can like be, I'm definitely more classic. And
yeah,
then I'll like take in like this piece of jewelry every girl's probably wearing. It's like it's the trend right now. But
yeah,
I'll always have like this pendant. You know, like
yeah.
it's just about finding also who you are and like what your trend is. So,
Right, right,
you
yeah,
don't have to wear the
right,
short shorts,
yeah.
Josh. Please don't.
I'm not gonna lie, I did buy a pair out in California.
I'm sure.
They look cool though.
Yeah, California, you can kind of get away with like anything tiny and short and
It's super funny
cute.
though, like also fashion, like it's such a part of the culture wherever you are. And it's super funny because when people come to Rhode Island, they're like, wow, I didn't realize like how like beachy this place is. Like no one realized, and I never realized how beachy it was either because I always just lived here. And then
Yeah.
like when I went to San Diego, and also everyone's always told me probably since I was 18, like, oh, you should move to California, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, screw California. No offense, California's sick, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, why are you telling me? I'm not California. I'm from Rhode Island. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, Rhode Island's cool.
But it's funny when I went to California. I would meet people are really friendly out there, and it's warmer weather, so there's just more opportunities to engage with random people and random conversation. But everyone I met, every single person I met, was like, "Oh, are you from here?" When I'm in San Diego, I'm like, "No, my first time visiting." Like, whatever. They're like,
Yes.
"Wow, I would have totally thought you were from here." When I went into a funny story, when I went to buy the short shorts, actually, those weren't my intentions going into the store. By the way, I just happened to see
Mm-hmm.
them. I went to Reebok.
Yeah, right.
I went to Reebok and I was talking to the guy who worked there, and he said the same thing. He was like, "Oh, you from here?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Rhode Island." I was like, "It's in between like Connecticut and Boston, or Connecticut and Massachusetts." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually from Boston. Like I just moved here." And I was like, "But I couldn't. I mean, the way I don't know why. Like since when you walked in the store,
Wow.
what you're wearing, and how you talked to me, and how you even said hi, like your movements." He was like, "I could have sworn you're from here." So I thought that was pretty funny. I'm even fooling people from back east in New England. People,
Really?
yeah. So, but it's kind of how I always dressed, and I don't know. I think that had a
Yeah,
lot to go into it and how I look, and but it's funny because out there
absolutely.
people dress like they wear very like vibrant clothes, and it's like not weird. A lot of like patterns, which is like around here, it's like, what do you think, you're a movie star? Like, get out of here. And
Yes.
like wearing like how we dress more like plain kind of, and more like subtle. It's like a subtle flex. I feel like out there it's like a very vibrant flex, and like guys wear like fedoras, which like which is kind of
Yes.
weird.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I went to this festival and I actually bought, me and my friend went to this like local thrift shop where he buys some clothes. They have some cool clothes there, and we actually went and I bought my San Diego vibrant um flex shirt. So it was
I love it.
yeah,
I
this is
love
funny.
it.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
super funny.
it is funny. And you can always tell where someone is from, like based on their outfit. Like when I went to Rhode Island the
Yeah.
last time I even saw you, I was wearing a leather jacket. Rhode Islanders were probably like, what are you doing? Like it's 70 degrees and it's beautiful. Why are you wearing leather? But I'm
Yeah.
from New York, baby. All right. That's what it is.
um so because you went to a fashion school, does that mean that all the classes or most of the classes are like fashion oriented, like a focus in fashion, like you mentioned, marketing and stuff like that? Like is it all with like the fashion in mind?
Yeah.
Like stats,
Basically,
you could do stats all based on fashion.
exactly. Yeah. It all kind of ties into fashion because they're assuming that if you're coming to a fashion school, like that's your interest. And I love this school because it was very intimate. Like the classes were like 20 people, perfect for me because I get lost in the sauce in big classes.
Yeah, how big
So
is LIM now that we're on that?
it's not, it's, I want to say like 10,000. Oh, no, no. Is
Okay.
that a lot? I don't even
No,
know.
10,000's not. If URI is like
Okay.
15, it's like considered middle, I think.
Okay. Maybe it's even, I think it's like 7. I don't know. I think
Okay.
also things are changing.
So a smaller
But
school.
definitely a smaller school, definitely a smaller feel.
But it's not
But
like you're in like upstate New York, like you're in the city. So the size of your school might not really matter that much.
oh no, it doesn't. And it's
But if you
actually
were
in
in Rhode
my,
Island,
go ahead.
if you were in Rhode Island, it would matter.
Oh, for
The
sure.
size of the
That's like,
school. Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Like I would not want to go to
exactly.
a
Like,
6,000 person school in Rhode Island. No way.
yeah. Well,
Absolutely
Rhode
not.
Island's like already tiny. So like
Yeah.
you're in a tiny state in a tiny
Yeah.
school, like who
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. It's high
absolutely.
school. It's high school at that point. For all
Literally.
the high schoolers
So
listening, if you I went to a 500 person high school. I thought a 2,000 person college would be overwhelming. I thought even a 5,000. I couldn't imagine going to a big school like 30,000. After my whole experience, I could definitely go to a 30,000 person school, 45,000 person school. I would probably actually love to go to a 35,000 person school. 15,000 towards the end of my career at URI, I was bumping into probably 8 to 10 people walking from one class to another.
oh
So,
no.
I
Oh
mean,
no.
it was okay. I didn't have beef with anyone, so it was all just saying
Yeah.
hi to friends. But I could not at that point saying hi to 8. I'm not even kidding. My friend Mallory, actually, she used to play this game because we had classes together, and she'd be like, "I'm gonna count how many people say hi to you today," and she would literally count how many people said hi. So 15,000 people really got small towards the end of it, and I could
Yeah,
totally see how 30,000 would keep that consistency of you not really knowing anyone, which is
absolutely.
there's a beauty in that because you'll make your own friends, you'll go to your own parties, you'll figure all that stuff out. But
Right.
yeah, like it's totally, it doesn't matter if you're at a big school or medium sized, whatever. Um,
Well, you're also Josh, and everyone knows you everywhere. And that, no, that doesn't go for everyone. Okay. If I walk down URI, people be like, who are you? Were you in my sorority? Like, no, it's you definitely have the personality, and so do I, honestly. I think
yeah,
I didn't give it a shot, but no,
yeah,
I really think I was just more focused on my career at that moment in my life where I just wanted to do it. I was like, all right, if I'm going to college, I know if I stayed at URI, Josh, I don't even know what would have happened. I probably would have been like,
well,
I
you're
don't know.
definitely bored for sure. And not to say that URI is boring, but the things around here didn't entertain you,
No, and like I need
which
to
is
be
fine.
motivated.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. And like it's a great place, but you have to have that mindset that you're ready to work. And I wasn't ready to do schoolwork. Like I just wanted to party. So being in that smaller LIM college feel, it really pushed me. I did not make any friends at school, by the way, which is definitely one of my biggest regrets. But I just went to school, I went to class, I, did my work and I left and I traveled 2 hours back home at the time.
yeah.
So I was really growing up very fast.
It's so
So
funny that you mentioned that. Like
yeah,
so you would like you weren't as motivated here. You were more motivated in the city, and I feel like I don't know why this is, but I feel like I'm super motivated here. Like there's not that many distractions for me. I'd probably say surfing is the biggest distraction, and then like going to
mhm,
bars honestly is probably the biggest distraction. But
yep,
there's not many bars in comparison to like when I go to New York City, I'm like I love New York City. There's so many things to do. You could and like when my personality, like you just said, like I'll get lost and I'll meet so and so in the Uber pool, and now I'm in like Brooklyn. I don't even know where I am, and I'm hanging out with these, you know what I mean? And then the next thing I know,
exactly,
I'm back in Midtown or whatever, and super funny because
exactly.
I want to move to the city, but a part of me is like, will you be able to focus, Josh? Like, are you really not
Yeah,
gonna like just go absolutely like just have so much fun and whatever? So that's
yeah,
funny that like New York for you was a motivator and like helps you like stay focused and stay in. But for me, I could see myself totally getting distracted, and it kind of like a
yeah.
secluded spot like Southern Rhode Island is like helps me stay motivated and whatever. So super funny how
And that
different.
is very funny. And just finding what motivates you is what you need to go with. Like if you think you're going to be distracted in New York City, well, hey, maybe give it a shot, but also like
Yeah.
maybe it's not for you. But
Yeah.
I definitely love it.
Yeah, yeah. I can see how you would.
Yeah.
So is there any like things that you would do to prepare for a semester? Would do you look at your syllabus, or do you look at your class schedule and kind of take like a calendar to it, or do you have like specific notebooks you like to buy, or like any apps you use on the computer that are helpful?
Yeah, so I am so happy to answer this question years later. Again, I did not do any of this, but I'm giving my advice of what I would do if I can go back in time, being
Yeah.
more organized and detail oriented. I for sure think writing everything down. Don't be one of those people that's like, oh, I'll remember I need to do my homework like later. Like, no, no, no. Write it down, because even if you'll
Yeah.
remember, just check it off. Like, don't think you're like Albert Einstein. He
I
probably wrote things
know.
down too.
I
Like,
know.
stop thinking that.
I
Just
know.
seriously, it doesn't make you stupid
Yep.
to write things
I
down.
feel like that's a high school habit.
It is. And
But high school's
oh my
so
God.
different, but you don't even realize how different high school is, because all your friends take the same classes, and you like live in the same neighborhood. Like it's totally different.
Yes.
And then college, like you might not have the same class with everyone, so you're not, and you don't even know each other, so you're not gonna like randomly be texting Jesse, which normally in high school you would be texting Jesse because you guys know each other your whole life and you guys are friends, and so you don't get those like random reminders. And that was definitely a thing with me too. Like I never wrote down anything at the beginning. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Right.
yeah, I'll remember. Like, how would I forget that I have an exam on the 7th? Like,
Well, you do. You forget. And it's okay,
yeah,
because we're human and there's so much
yeah,
going on, and that's life. So
yeah.
I think
So write everything
just
down.
write everything down, be super organized. Um, in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah. Be ridiculously organized. Like, even if you're not gonna
exactly.
check it off, just write it down and just write it down.
Yes.
Just
Just
write
write
it
it
down.
down. Just do it. And I think something I do with work right now, because it's similar to college, I guess, to where you have like so many projects going on and due dates and whatever. I write it down, like first due date, like the number one project that with like the first due date, and then list it down so like you know what you have to work on first, and just be okay to be vulnerable and use your resources, and don't, like I said, don't think you're smarter than what you remember.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually funny because when I went to grad school, I had like not like, I don't know, like I had more of like an adult view on school. So like I got
Yeah.
super nerdy with it all, super organized with everything. Like my
Yeah.
projects, I set like many deadlines like for myself. So if I'm doing like a huge project, I have like a draft on due, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before. Then I have like
Yep.
I'll schedule like a tutoring session with the professor or the writing center with a tutor, and then I'll have the second draft, and then I'll do like something like that, where it's like really.
Exactly.
It's just so funny though, because when I started school, I was totally like how we were, and we just kind of like tried to memorize everything. So
Exactly. And
funny.
that is totally my biggest advice. And just finding what works for you. Like maybe you'll try to do what your friend Jessie does and how she organizes it. But if that doesn't work for you, find your own way to organize, and don't be ashamed in how you do it. So just be very self-aware of what works for you.
Yeah, try new things, and you'll fail before you find the right medium.
Oh yeah, you will fail, and yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. All right, so take me through a day in the life of Jenna Rubin, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And this is, let's do a pre-COVID day,
Okay.
pre-pandemic day. So your commute, is there a coffee shop you go to, the whole nine? What's a lunch break like? Friends in the office type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I'm dreaming of a day in the life of Jenna Rubin before post COVID.
Yeah.
So I would wake up. I would
What
get
time?
ready. I would wake up 7:20. 7:20.
Okay. All
Right
right.
now I'm waking up at 8:30, so forgot. 7:20, I would get up. I always have to do like my skincare, my hair, and I like rush to do my makeup.
Yeah, it's a
And
big thing
like
in your
the outfit
industry.
is big.
My
Exactly.
one of my friends, just real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off, but one of my friends,
Yeah,
her
go ahead.
friend lives in the city and works in the fashion industry, and she actually hired, or she hires, not anymore, but before the pandemic, she would hire like a group of people to come over and do her hair and makeup in the morning.
Yes,
And I
glam
guess you,
squad.
yeah, crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's so sick though. That's so funny. That's a
yeah,
huge part of the job too. If you don't know that, you need to look, like we're saying, you need to dress the part and look good and look great every
absolutely.
day.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I didn't
do.
think it was
And
that. I didn't think it mattered that much, but
I would never hire glam squad. Like I love doing my own hair, my own makeup, my own
you are your
skincare.
own
So
glam squad.
I am gram squad. This is not like a grandma.
Why pay someone to do something you can do?
Glam.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I personally love it. That's why I'm in the industry. I'm in beauty. She's in
right,
fashion. So
right.
I would love to hire a stylist. So
Yeah,
I'll
right.
do her hair and makeup and she'll
Style
style
squad.
me.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I could totally use that. But so
Yeah.
I would get up. I'm normally like rushing in the morning. I'm not super I don't have like my cup of coffee in the morning and I don't relax outside of my balcony like things I should be doing, but I don't.
Right. Right.
So I'm kind of like rushing out the door, running to the PATH station, sweating. Um, I'm normally wearing like little heels, which I really need to stop doing. But I'm like just running, just trying to get to work. I have to get to work around like 8:39 the latest. And then if I take the PATH, sometimes I'll walk from the PATH to work if it's nice out. But if it's not nice out, I'll take a subway. And when I get to work, I do have really close friends there. I'm so grateful for them. So
Awesome.
we'll go for our walks to La Colombe, which is our favorite coffee shop. They have, if you're near La Colombe, their oat draft latte is by far the best thing I've ever had. And yeah, I love Juice Generation. I love Chopped, which is an amazing salad bar. And I don't know, I'm in Soho. So
Yeah.
we're in the best part of New York City with the shopping. Yeah, if I don't like my shirt, I'm probably going downstairs to Mango or and Other Stories, which are two stores, and buying a new shirt. Like that's just the area I'm in New York City where I'm able to do that.
That's cool.
So yeah, I just go to work. I answer emails. A lot of my job is collaboration, so it's working cross-functionally with creative team and consumer engagement team. And just I'm definitely not someone who sits at their desk from 9 to 5. Like I need to get up, I need to get some air. We call it like kitchen time, to where like me and my two really close friends will meet in the kitchen and we'll get snacks and coffee and we'll just kind of touch base there. But I have luckily like an incredible work environment where it just kind of feels like a second home.
So that's awesome. So and that's I'm happy to hear that too. But
Yeah.
so do you have like a cubicle, or what is that? What does it kind of look like? What does the office kind of look like?
Oh my God, no. Luckily, Estee Lauder is trying to become more, what do they call it? Like no cubicles. I forgot what the
Oh, there's like
office
a word for
environment's
it.
called. Yeah, there's literally a word for it, like open.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I haven't been in an office in 2 months, so I completely forgot.
Yeah, it's
But
all good.
it's all open, all open. I work at La Mer, which is a smaller brand out of the Estee Lauder brands. So it's a
Okay.
lot more of that smaller feel, but it's very open. Everything's white. It's beautiful columns, and we have 2 kitchens. We have bathrooms, obviously, and like little
So do you have like
kitchen tables
desks?
just around. So we have desks. Exactly. It's hard to explain. Just
Yeah.
picture like an open area where there's desks. Nothing's blocking you from anyone. And
Do you like that?
we have really big desks too. So it's not like you're really close to people. And the
Okay.
only time it gets like a little hard is because if you're on a phone call or something, sometimes that's annoying, but you get used to it. And there's also meeting spaces. So yeah. Oh, it's open concept. Open concept.
Open
That's what it's
concept.
called.
Okay.
Yes, it's
So that's a
very
cool office
modern.
environment.
Yes,
I'm
definitely
gonna
very
look for
cool. And
that
some
too when I get
people,
a job.
absolutely.
Open
And some
concepts.
people have like standing desks. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
so
yeah,
yeah, you
very
mentioned,
modern.
yeah, standing desks are cool. They actually have the desks now that go up and down. It's like a remote. So if you want to
Yes,
sit like this, you can. And then if you want to stand for a little bit, you can, which my mom actually loves to do that. Um,
so good for you.
yeah, it is for sure. It's not good to sit all day. That's what my yoga instructors have been telling me.
Yes,
It's bad for your hips, everyone. So you got to open
great.
up those hips if you're sitting down all day.
Yes.
um,
Yes.
so you mentioned, so it's a lot of collaborating with other teams. Um, you answer emails, obviously. I feel like everyone kind of does that. Is there anything else to add, or
Yeah.
Willie?
Um, I'm in a lot of meetings also. It's a lot of collaboration. When I say collaboration, it's not just over emails. It's like coming together, ideating. Um, and that's what I truthfully love to do. That's a huge part of my job, that if I was just writing emails all day, I would not succeed. Like, I love the interaction. I love having meetings with this team and brainstorming and ideating on what we can do. And so you're not sitting at your desk a lot. You're in meeting rooms and just
Yeah,
kind of all over the place. So
yeah.
a typical day, Josh, is like, there's no typical day. Like, every day is a bit
Oh,
different,
okay.
which I love.
Do
Yes.
you ever travel outside of the office to other buildings or other parts, branches of your company, or no? I don't know. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. No, that's definitely a good question. There's other buildings for sure that, if we have a seminar or something that we have to go to another building. But no, I mainly stay within our building unless there's like an event or a bigger meeting.
Okay, cool. So now we're in a pandemic. Are you working from home?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because
Monday
not
through
everyone
Friday.
is. So.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I am extremely grateful and lucky to be in my position. But yes, I am working from home. I'm actually working from home on this bed that I'm sitting on, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely pluses to it. Um,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So kind of went through everything with the job that I had. Do you have any influences that you would like to that keep you inspired? People you're striving to be like, um, things you've learned a lot from, um, things, media that have encouraged you to go down the path that you have gone down. Um, podcasts, movies, shows, even documentaries, interviews, possibly. Um,
Yeah.
Lay it all on me, Jenna. Why are you the way you are? Tell me. Who are the
Uh,
collectives of people that explain this behavior?
yes. Yes.
Whose fault is
Um,
this?
so, oh God, lots of people's faults. It's the exes. It's all the above.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. And I love this question because it's so interesting to see how far you've gone, from me being Jenna. Just so to put it out there for the podcast, my whole life I was called stupid. I was stupid. I was ditzy, because I was funny and outgoing. That's what people thought.
Same,
So
actually.
yeah, I mean, it's a horrible thing, but
It is.
that's honestly how I grew up, and that's how I thought I was. I thought I was stupid. I thought I was ditzy, and that's kind of like the the character I would play.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college and had a whole new group of people who did not know I was stupid and ditzy because they didn't know who Jenna Rubin was, I was able to create who I wanted to be. And I'm not stupid. I'm not ditzy. I'm very well aware of the things that are going on around me. And I think the influence that I had just growing up is just having a vision of who I wanted to be and how to get there. And social media at the time wasn't as big as it was now.
Mm,
So I didn't really have like an actress. I didn't really have like someone on TV that I strived to be at the time. And I think I just kind of like focused more on Jenna Rubin versus anyone else. And I was like, what does Jenna Rubin want to do? Like, do it. I became confident. I became self-aware. I became just more intuitive of who I am. So as I just got older and took risks and transferred colleges and didn't care what people thought that I was going to a fashion school. Like, I just became who I wanted to be. And along the way, I've had, of course, bloggers on Instagram maybe to influence me how to dress. But I'm not influenced by anyone on who I should be. And that's what I strive to be. I want to be my own person. I don't want to be the blogger that has 2.3 million followers. I don't want to be the next person that sits next to me at work. I want to create Jenna Rubin in this life that we're living in. And something that I actually just started reading, I put on my Instagram story, is A Return to Love. And this book is exactly what I've been thinking my entire life. And I'm so happy that someone made a book about it, because it just validates everything I was feeling.
What's the book about?
It's about, so I'm on chapter 4, but already it's incredible. So it's just about that we judge people and ourselves on how much they make, what school they go to, what grades they get. And that's not who, like, that doesn't make you better or worse than someone. Like, just because you make a higher salary than me, or I make a higher salary than you, doesn't make me better. And it doesn't make you better that you went to Indiana and I went to LAM. So it's just validating everything that I've been wishing and hoping for. Like, I wish I read this book when everyone was calling me stupid, because I didn't genuinely care about classes. I cared about hanging out with my family, connecting with people. My interests were just different. It didn't make me stupid. So my influence right now is this book, and I really am so excited to finish reading it and just continue living my life based on love and not fear. And that's really the whole entire book. It's not about religion. It's not about anything. It's just how, like, humans, we live based, we either do something or don't do something because we're fearful, or we do something because we love it. And we just, everything we should do is because we love ourselves and we're willing to take a risk, and whatever happens, happens. Just live your life. Like, just, that's who I am, and that's who I just strive to be. I'm my own influence. That's it. Me.
Who's the book by?
The book is by Marianne Williamson, and it's reflections on the principles of A Course in Miracles.
Cool.
She writes about the course. Like, this is not the course. You could buy the course, but she writes about her experience. Yeah. So highly recommend.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So awesome. That was a unique answer. Is there anything else you'd like to put in there? Or is that I mean, that's fine. I was just wondering.
Are you, like, do you want me to say you're my influence? Like,
no, I don't.
That's it,
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, like, is there anyone else you've met along the way that has influenced you?
Yeah. Is there any?
Not saying any names.
Anyone else? Not anyone.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm right. Just making sure. And of course, people along the way have helped me to where I am today. So you are, of course, part of the journey.
Of course, yes. Yes. All right. So, Jenna's future, 10 years down the road. I don't know why I just said 10 years down the road. That's not even like what I had written down. But I kind of like it. Let's go with that. 10 years down the road. What do we ideally, what are we seeing? Obviously, it probably won't turn out that way. And I don't mean that in a negative way. That could also be a positive way.
Yeah.
Way better than you can imagine right now. So, I guess what are the next steps for you in your career? If you have any, maybe this is it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No. Lots to come. I don't know what it looks like, but I just want to do more in terms of, like, in my job right now, I'm behind a screen. I want to be training. I want to have more, and not that I don't have an impact right now, but I just want to do more in terms of being the one training, or coming up with the new concepts. I don't know. It's such a crazy question, because life is changing right now, and we're not sure what the beauty industry is going to look like in 10 years. So I hope to be part of that. I hope to, honestly, I would love to create my own business. I have so many aspirations and just goals in my life, but I just want to do more, and I don't know what it looks like. And I think the given the current climate of COVID-19, like it might give us an excuse to do something new and different. So I'm super excited about that. And I, of course, hope to have a family, and I hope to be an amazing mom and a friend and a daughter, you know, because not everything's about your career. I have so many goals of who I want to be, like within myself. So I don't know.
Like physically, like even like
it's
exercise and
yes,
free learning and your relationships with your family, friends, and loved ones.
Exactly. And like, I love to think 10 years down the line, but I just grow every single year more and more. And I'm just really looking forward to who I'm going to be in 10 years kind of thing. Whatever that may be, it's going to be great. Hopefully.
So what's your position now?
So my title is the coordinator of global service experience and education at Le Maire. The mouthful. I'm still entry level. I've been in my role. Well, I was in another coordinator role on the same team, jumped to a higher level of coordinator role in terms of like the project and workload. So I'm definitely on the path to getting promoted soon. I'm just waiting patiently for that.
What's the next if you know, if all goes well?
Yes.
What is the
pray for me?
Yeah.
It would be an associate.
Yeah. An associate.
Yeah. So for anyone interested in Estee Lauder, like the way you climb the ladder is you come in from a coordinator to an associate, assistant manager, director, executive director, vice president, and then a senior vice president. So I'm pretty far down, but
that's awesome though.
Okay. It's awesome.
That's cool how you climb a ladder and there's like the next goal that you want to achieve. And it's like that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
cool.
If there's not anything else, actually, I have one more question. I'm not done with you just yet.
Okay.
If you could tell 18-year-old Jenna something, what would it be?
I think it would just be to like be confident in yourself and know things will get better. Like, I'm getting emotional because it's crazy.
Yeah, I totally hear you on that.
What are you doing? I literally haven't spoken to another human being in like forever, but
I mean, as long as you're trying, I feel like, you know, it'll
I'm here. I'm with it. All right. Jenna Rubin, 18 years old. I would just say
I love it.
Gosh, this is me. I love it. Just do you. Like, be confident and don't care what other people think of you. Like, it's so irrelevant, and these people are, and looking back, especially like to where we are now, like you see the people who you thought were going to be cool and like, you know, be all, they're not. They're actually like, you're actually going down your own path, and whatever you want to do, like that's the right thing to do. Like, don't ever feel like you're doing something wrong because someone thinks it's weird, or I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but just
no, I hear you saying.
Just be confident and like be okay to be different. Like, if you're different, let that shine. Like, don't be like everyone else, because now, like I said, looking back at the people I thought I wanted to be, that's not who I want to be. Like, that is the opposite of who I would ever want to be. So just to anyone listening, just continue to have a goal and don't let anyone get in your way. And it's cool to be different. Like, I wish people told us that growing up. Like, you don't have to be a lawyer or a doctor. You don't have to be an A+ student to be worth something. Like,
and you'll find out through your friends who's supportive of you and your differences and your different hobbies and stuff like that.
Oh yes you will. And we're still young. You're gonna see down the line when you're even more successful who sticks by you. Yeah, it's just, life is crazy, and you just have to find a purpose and don't follow the herd of sheep. That's not the way to go.
Yeah. That's it's an awesome thing to leave off on. You're the first person to shed tears on the show, so I'm very happy about that.
I'm not surprised.
I feel like I've hit a milestone as an interviewer.
You did.
I'm just
you
kidding.
did. You brought out the best in me in this interview, and you're doing an amazing thing. So.
Oh, thank you, Jenna. I really appreciate you coming on the show, and I think you have a pretty unique. Well, I don't think it's unique, but I think someone younger who's in high school or maybe even early college would think it's unique. So I think it's cool to kind of put light on situations like yours where the first college didn't work out so well and you went to a second college, and you kind of followed your passion, but at first you weren't really sure what that was, and you kind of followed your passion and stayed within fashion through a different major. Were there, now I'm thinking about it, was there a lot of did a lot of your credits transfer over to LIM? Because I think you finished in 4, right?
Yes, that was a crazy experience. But not all of them did. Most of them did. So I got lucky. I only had to take, I graduated like in the summer. So it was like a few classes behind. It was fine.
Okay. Wow. I mean, that's faster than what I did. And I went to the same school for this whole time.
Exactly. And I failed the class at LIM, so let's not forget that.
Yeah, right. That does happen, folks. You do fail class and you might have to retake it.
Yes, and it's all good.
So it all works out. Just keep trying, like Jenna said. Just keep trying.
Exactly.
Well, hey, thank you. I had a lot of fun, and I think this was really cool for the listeners, and I'm really happy about it.
I'm happy. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Jenna. Well, hey, have a good day. Enjoy the sunshine. It's a nice day out.
You too.
I will. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Hold on.
Well, what do I do?
It's all right. You're fine.
Hey. My God.